Smartphones suck. You heard it here first, folks. The hottest of hot takes to ever exist. You've never heard this opinion once in your life. I assure you. I'm not here to talk about the dwindling attention spans or how Meta is stealing our data, or how third places are gone. All of this has been discussed before, and if you look it up, you'll find like 1,000 video essays talking about how doomed we are. Instead, I'm here to tell you a simple story. Picture this. It's 9 p.m. on a Friday night. My dad's flight is in a couple hours, and I'm tasked with clearing out my old phone before giving it a good old factory reset. You know, at first, it started simple. The downloads folder was a wishy-washy mess of documents, pictures, and weird stuff, but I can sort those later. All I had to do was just move it to my computer, and I thought it was going to be easy. Then comes the documents folder, which is just a collection of books I've been planning to read but never got to reading, and like 1,000 documents called Chapter 9 Final Revision. Somehow, the worst part about uni is clearing the files that I got from uni. Everything crumbles as soon as I go into my media folder. My phone has 1.5 gigabytes worth of photos and 5 gigabytes worth of videos. Sorting through this is going to take a lot of time, and I don't have that much time. Also, it kind of stands to reason that pictures like this are probably not things I should keep.
Guess who's making a video? I'm sorry, I'm way too loud. I'm way too excited.
I decided to skip the whole idea of moving the entirety of the pictures photo in one go, and instead opted to minimizing and compressing each folder and then moving it to my computer. This worked with varying levels of success because for some reason it just kept on crashing. Everyone's pushing me to just like get things done. My dad's like, just stop, it's okay, you can do it later, you don't have to do it anymore, I don't need your phone. And I'm like, at this point I'm locked in, I have to do it. I made a promise. I should have done this sooner in hindsight, but it's too late now. Who cares about hindsight? Let's just get this done. After I was done with the photos and documents and books and all of that fun stuff, I had to remove, or at least try to move, one last thing: WhatsApp. The biggest cancer of an app to ever exist on Android. Anyways, this parasite digs its heels so deep into your system, it is virtually impossible to remove. Its folders are scattered across the system, and it's just organized into subfolders. It's like, oh, there's a folder for images, there's a folder for GIFs, there's a folder for voice notes, and they're not even labeled. There's like a series of numbers. I don't have the time to figure out which ones are important. It's just, I am not okay. Also, this is kind of stupid. This is kind of slightly stupid, but I'm kind of worried that I might be scammed. Somehow, I managed to slog through all of that, and it is now time to do the factory reset. The part that I've been rushing to get to. I already have all my messages backed up, so I know everything's going to be fine. Anyways, so we're in the car. I'm sitting next to my dad. My phone's empty, and it's time to give it to my dad, who says he doesn't need it anymore. So essentially, I failed. I'm feeling a lot of emotions, and I don't know how to process them. All I have to do is just open my notes app and write my thoughts. You know, it's just like the best way to process a feeling is to write it down. And yeah, so it turns out that in order to access my notes app, I need to be logged in onto my Google account, and currently I can't do that. Android defaults all the apps to Google Apps. I can't use my phone. It is essentially bricked. If I'm not logged in, I can't do anything. The best I can do is call. To make things worse, it's not even just like the default Google apps. Facebook is downloaded on the phone by default. I just did a factory reset. Why is Facebook on my phone? I don't use Facebook. My dad makes it to the airport on time. He goes through the customs. I now have to use a new phone. My dad had an old phone of his that he gave to me. It's a newer version than whatever I had. From what it looks like, my dad's phone is better. Let me just get on a tangent for a quick second. Why do all Android phones suck? Like, I always hear this argument where it's like, oh, Android has improved so much. It's become revolutionary. It's so much better than iPhones. And I'm like, when? No, like seriously, when did that happen? And where? Because the phones I'm getting are supposed to be new models, right? They're supposed to be newer models, and what I'm getting is shit. Absolute garbage. Every phone has a new shitty con that I have to deal with. Either it's like, oh, the battery runs out really fast, or the phone heats up all the time, or the camera sucks and it can't process. And let's talk about the camera for a second. Androids keep bragging that they have newer, bigger, better cameras. 15,000 megapixels. Why can I not feel the improvement? Why does it look like I'm taking a picture out of an old Nokia? Why does the software suck? And before the iPhone users start going, oh, iPhones are bad. No, you guys are equally as bad. The only difference between you guys and Android users is that you guys have a good camera and a good looking UI. It's like if I dress shit in a suit, it's still shit. The only thing you're good for is a camera. If I wanted a camera, I'd buy a camera. Look, I'm not saying that phones are useless or bad, but you know, they're designed to be this end-all be-all device, but they're not good at anything. The only thing they're good at is serving social media on a hot plate with good UI every now and then. I don't have Instagram. So if I don't have social media, essentially my phone's useless. I've ever since I deleted my accounts, I've stopped using my phone. Could you just come here for a second? Alright. Good. Alright. Why do you have a phone? Genuinely, why do you have a smartphone? What's the point? My phone at this point is just a glorified notes and records app. I'm using my phone right now to record. And fun fact, this part sucked because for some reason the phone didn't have recording software on it, so I had to download stuff. This software has ads on it, so I can't even use this stuff properly. Yeah, it's happening again. By the way, this part of the video is going to have shit audio because my microphone can't work because I've got an ad on my audio recording software. This is another thing with phones. Every service that I want to use is either a subscription-based service or full of ads. There's no in between. It just sucks. Seriously. Why do we have phones anymore? It sure as hell isn't because you want to text your family and friends, because I barely text anyone anymore. My family calls me most of the time, and if we're talking about friends, most of my friends have they're busy. I have a friend who texts me once a month just to apologize for not continuing the conversation that he started a month ago. This could have been better as a video call. This could have been better as a call. If I called him up and we had that conversation, it would have been better than that apology text. I'm not trying to say that phones aren't revolutionary devices or that they're not really good pieces of technology. They are, but at this point, it's honestly just better to have a simple device for everything. You wanna take photos and videos with your family? Buy a camera. It doesn't have to be the recent models either. It just could be an old one. They're just better. And when you're organizing through your files, it's probably going to be a lot easier. Look, you know what I seriously feel like doing right now? Yeah, alright, so yeah, that's for me. And by the way, in case you're curious, these are fake glasses. These used to be 3D glasses that I got from the cinema a long time ago, and this is what I have remaining of it. So yeah, bye bye.